Hi everyone, my name is Bhavishya. In this lecture, we will see the concept of passive interface. Now, if I want to summarize initially what is passive interface, so by virtue of commands of passive interface, we make a device enabled to participate in OSPF, but it will not receive any hello packet. So, what we are doing is we are putting a halt on that device to be participated in OSPF as it will not receive any hello packet, but it will still be participating in OSPF. Right? Makes sense? Now let us do the lab. For this, let me pull out the extended topology. Okay, so this is our extended topology, right? If I want to summarize, on FastKeyNet 0/0, we have given the network 10.0.0.255 acting as a default gateway for our PC1, and PC1 is configured with IP address of 10.0.0.1. Great. Now we will passive our PC1, but before that, let's understand that here before I configure OSPF on this network 10.0.0.0, there is one thing that by this particular time R1, R2 and R3 do not know anything about this network. Let's see. As you can see, if I go to R3 and if I check show IP route, I do not have any information about 10 network. Similarly with R2, I do not have any information about the 10 network, right? Even if I check R1, no information about 10 network. Now to have the information about 10 network, we have to enable OSPF in it. So we have already given the command router OSPF1 along with the network, inverse mask and area. Now before hitting enter to this command, let me start Wireshark. Here as you can see, no entries as we have turned off the no keep alive and no Cisco discovery packet run. Great. Now as I hit enter to this command, what will happen is, let me summarize it before only. As I enable this command, OSPF will be enabled for this particular 10 dot network. So hello packets will start going through this interface to this network, right? So this is the very first thing that will happen. The second thing that will happen is R1 will generate a new LSA entry in its database, right? This is what it will happen as R1 will get introduced to a new network that is 10.0.0.0. Initially, it was having only this particular network, and the one it has learned through OSPF 23.0.0.0. Now it will make a new entry regards to this network. And the third thing that will happen is as it is making a new entry, the sequence number will get incremented by 1, right? So this is what it will happen. Now let me enter. Now as I hit enter, okay, let me restart this. Let us recheck. Where is Wireshark? Okay. Now, as you can see, the hello packets start to go. Now, if I go and check show IP route, now as you can see, it has information about telnet, right? Great. Similarly, if I check R2, now it has the information about telnet. Great. Just learning through SPF as you can see here. Similarly with R3, let's check. It is also learning via OSPF. Great. Now if I go and check R1 and its database, show OSPF database. Here you can see the sequence number of it get incremented. I know we don't have the base value to compare with, but as you can see, it has reached to 4. So surely it has incremented. Let us assume. Now, the concept of passive interface. For that, config terminal, after that, router OSPF1, and the command for it is passive interface, and then the name of the interface. What is the name of the interface? The name of the interface is fast ethernet 0/0 FA 0/0. Now, have I on this. As I turn this on, this command, you can see that the entry in the Wireshark is now freeze, as the whole and sole purpose of this command is to pause the hello packet receiving. But still, if you look at here, the IP route, it is still learning about the 10 network, right? But is not receiving the hello packet anymore, as you can see in the Wireshark. Similarly with R3, great. So if you want to validate this, we will go to R1. We'll say show IP route and then interface. And what is the interface? Interface fast ethernet 0/0. Okay. Okay, show IP route interface. Oh, show IP OSPF. Show IP OSPF interface. So here, as you can see, it says about R1. No hello, no hellos, passive interface. Right? Great. But it is still participating in OSPF in our respective R1, R2, and R3. Great. So now let us expand our topology to learn more. Now, this is our extended topology. Okay. And here, let us go and configure OSPF. I've already configured the one which is essential. Now, config terminal. After this, router OSPF1 and network. What is the network? It is 20. is 20.0.0.0 along with the inverse mask 0.0.0.255. Great. And with our area backbone 0. Great. Now what is happening underneath is here R3 learned about this network. It made a change in its own database, generated a new sequence number for it, and sent the hello packet to this. Great. Now R3 knows about this network and will share its LSA to R2. Now R2 will learn about that network and will share the LSA of this network with R1. Now, in concise, R1 will run an shortest path first algorithm on its database and will learn about the network with shortest path. Right. This is what is happening underneath, and all will get synchronized and will have the information about every network possible. Right. But this is still performing as we have not enabled passive interface on this particular interface. Right. So let us do that. So we will go and see passive interface and then the name of the interface, that is Fascina 1/0, I guess. Let's see. 1/0. Great. One slash zero. And if you want to go and check, so we'll say show IP OSPF interface fast Ethernet 1/0 without brief. Okay, interface. Yep. 1/0. As you can see, no hellos, passive interface, right? Great. So this is also enabled with passive interface. Now the last thing that we'll do is the big thing. Let's ping from this PC to this PC to check the connectivity all the way from one end to another end. Let's do with PC2. Ping is the network 10.0.0.1. As you can see, it is happening successfully. So this was it for this lecture where we learned about passive interface, and in summary, we make interface passive so that it do not perform in OSPF in a way that it do not receive any hello packet but still participates in OSPF to learn about other networks, right? So yeah, see you in the next one.